What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Phil and Leroy Judgemental podcast.
Just Phil back on here.
And I'm Leroy. So, what's going on, Phil?
Nothing much. Just watching this football game, trying to get some money in this fantasy football.
And what was the points that someone had the Buffalo? Was it the quarterback?
Yes, they had Allen, the quarterback.
And what was the score? Because he had a good game last night.
Oh shit, he got 59.23 against me.
Oh, so in other words, you ain't winning.
No, I'm down, but I'm still the favorite to go. I just took the lead. Lamar Jackson, thank you God. Lamar just scored another touchdown, so that put me up.
So, wait a minute. When did the Ravens play? That was Monday, right? That they played
Monday night. Yeah.
Cleveland. Yeah, okay. Because I was about to say is they playing
No,
rather
you
quick.
know what? I think it was actually Tuesday night. It was like some weird shit, I believe. I don't think it was Monday night. I think it was Tuesday night.
Yeah, because it was
What?
two games that night, right?
Right, right.
Yeah, yeah.
Either it was the late game on Monday or it was the Tuesday night game. I can't remember. It was some weird shit.
Mhm. Well, this is our Eagles versus the Cardinals episode, and the Eagles are 6 point underdogs. Sounds right. Where's this game? Is it in Arizona or Philadelphia?
I'm not sure.
I think it may be in Arizona. I'm not sure. Well, what you think about the game?
I think it should be a good game. Both quarterbacks are like short, speedy guys. They're gonna run on you if you don't pressure them and contain them. They both got arms. What's the name? Arm is better. I mean, because from what we can see, we still haven't seen what all Jalen Hurts can do. But Kyler Murray, he can throw that ball deep as shit for a little dude.
Yeah.
So it should be a good game.
Right. The Eagles are playing at the Cardinals. And we have some little stats for you. The Eagles had 5 sacks against the Saints, and they have 43 this season. Only the Steelers with 45 have more. The Eagles have 3 or more sacks in 9 of their last 13 games. They've had 4 more sacks 4 times. They are 3-0-1 in those 4 games. Well, we mentioned those. We didn't mention like stat wise, but we mentioned about the Eagles and stats last week.
Right. So like the defense is not that bad, but it's when the offense can't do nothing, keep going three and out, they get worn down, and then they get scored on a beat. You know what I mean?
Right. Jim Schwartz blitzed on just 5 of 43 pass plays against the Saints. In the last 4 games, he sent extra rushers on just 15 of 137 pass plays. Well, I give him props on that one because you're not supposed to blitz no darn running quarterback. And you know this guy's going to take off on you if he feel pressured. So why would you blitz him? That's why I couldn't understand why New Orleans, they supposed to have good defense, was doing that against Hurts.
And you would think like after the first quarter, with y'all doing the same shit, he busting your ass with his feet, you would stop. But they kept
Right.
thinking in their mindset, he a rookie, we gonna get him, we gonna flusher him, and he was tearing their ass up.
Yep. Sanders is just a fourth. Sanders is fourth in the league in yards per carry, 5.7. But that average had been built largely on those 3 long runs. He's averaging just 4.0 yards per carry on the other 129 rushing attempts. 68 of those 129 runs have gained 3 yards or less. He has just 12 other 10+ yard runs beside the 3 long ones. That's not his fault. That's your coach's fault for not running the
Yep.
football.
I bet you out of all the starting running backs in the NFL, he probably got the least amount of carries.
Sanders is averaging just 13.2 rushing attempts per game this season. That's just 2 carries a game more than last year. He had 38 carries in his first 2 games after he missed the season opener. And the 8 games he played since then, he's averaged 11.7 rush attempts. Again,
God damn.
what Phil just said about the not running the football and your coaching. Uh, Opposing quarterbacks have a 111.1 passer rating against the Eagles in the last three games. In the previous six games, it was 93.2. QBs have a 72.8 completion percentage and 7.9 yards per attempt average against the Eagles in the last three games. In the previous six, it was 64% and 6.8. Well, we also mentioned that last week we mentioned that quite a few times about the Eagles not having a secondary. That's the problem right there.
Mm-hmm.
In the last three games, the opponents' top wideouts, the Saints' Michael Thomas, the Packers' Devontae Adams, and the Seahawks' DK Metcalf were targeted a combined 33 times and had 28 catches for 328 yards. God damn. Though they
Mm-hmm.
though they average just 10 yards per catch. If they get that secondary right, the Eagles won't be a bad football team.
Yep.
Oh, here you go. Here's a stat about you were talking about the rush attempts. It's not Sanders specifically, but it's the Eagles in general rushing attempts. The Eagles have averaged just 24.3 rushing attempts per game this season. That's the seventh lowest average in the league. They had 36 carries last week against the Saints, but 18 of them were by Hurts. It has only the second time this season they've had 30 or more runs in a game.
Mm-hmm.
They got to run the football more by running
Cause
backs, not by a quarterback.
right, you can run with the quarterback. That don't count to me as rushing the ball. Calling run plays and rushing the ball. That's our
Okay,
stubborn coach.
okay, but what about it when they do the run Pacific plays with the quarterback? You count that as a run?
It's counted as a run, but it shouldn't take away from your running back. Who's
Hmm.
that?
That was my I hit the Google thing on my phone. So I'm
Oh,
talking and the Google is just
okay.
repeating everything I just said. Then I looked down, I turned it off.
So like, let's say your running back average 20 touches a game. If you want to mix it up and call some run plays for your quarterback, then fine. But your running back should still get his 20 touches a game. That's what I mean.
Right. Sanders was a big part of the Eagles passing game last season, targeted 63 times by Carson Wentz. He had 50 catches and 3 touchdowns and averaged 10.2 yards per catch. 19 of his 50 catches produced first downs. This year, he has just 23 catches on 44 targets and no touchdowns. He is averaging just 6.3 yards per catch and only has 7 receiving first downs. Now, what's the cause of that?
Quarterback.
Well, the quarterback was throwing it to him last year. So what happened?
I don't know. He's like he hit a wall this year. He just couldn't do shit. And now he talking about he's not a backup. He want to get traded because he's a starter in this league.
Yeah, I heard that he was upset about being a backup.
If you got a problem with being a backup, go in the bathroom, look in the mirror, and that's the reason why you're a backup.
True, true. All right, so what you going to get a score?
I'm gonna give it let's say 24-28 Eagles.
24-20 Eagles. That's. I'm gonna give it 24-21 Eagles. 24-21 Eagles. Here's the article that Phil just mentioned. Reports Wentz will seek departure from the Eagles if Hurts remains starter. Carson Wentz has no desire to be a backup quarterback and would seek a trade from the Philadelphia Eagles if Jalen Hurts continues to start. Sources told ESPN's Adam Schefter. The 27-year-old isn't happy with the way the quarterback saga has unfolded in Philadelphia, Schefter adds. The team benched Wentz following Week 13 due to his inconsistent play this season. While the Eagles reportedly intended to hang on to the former starter, the demotion has attracted the attention from other clubs, and some are expected to ask about Wentz's trade availability. Sheffield reports. Good. Head coach Doug Peterson hasn't stated Hurts will remain the starter for the remainder of the year, but no change is expected, according to ESPN Chris Mortensen. I didn't even know Chris Mortensen was still on ESPN. Do you watch that stuff? You don't watch that stuff anymore, do you?
What's that? ESPN?
Yeah, like the football pregame shows and all that
No, I
stuff.
don't watch. No, I don't watch all that. I watch a little bit here and there, but I go to YouTube when I want to watch some football shit.
All right. Well, hell, I play video games until football start. Cook or play video games, what a day. Boy, back in the day, I used to be up early in the morning watching that shit.
Yep, me too. I used to watch ESPN when I wake up while I'm getting ready for work, and then when I'm going to bed, I used to watch ESPN while I'm going to bed.
Hmm. Which contract also complicates his interest in seeking a new club. The single caller signed a 4-year, 129 million extension in June 2019 and has an abundance of guaranteed money coming his way. If the Eagles move Wentz, a trade would likely have to happen no later than March. The Eagles will owe the former number 2 overall pick a $10 million roster bonus if he's on the team by the third day of the 2021 league year, which is also when his base salary for 2022 becomes fully guaranteed. D-
Jesus Christ.
Despite not starting in Week 14, Wentz struggles have been on a grand display this season. The passer still lead the NFL in interceptions with 15 and sacks taken 50. Hurts is aiming to win his second career start Sunday, leading in the okay. We already know all that stuff. So shit, if teams have interest in him, which I think is going to be probably Indianapolis is probably one of the teams like what we talked about last week.
Because he like him some Frank Wright.
Yeah, so that's probably be the team that they're talking about. But look, if teams is interested in him, if Hurts plays good these last games, I would let Hurts play for the rest of the year, unless he's like really stinking up the joint.
Hmm.
I would let him play to the rest of the year, and if teams are interested in Wentz, you just let him go.
Yeah.
Let him go and roll with Hurts.
Like I said, if Hurts stink it up real bad, then you try to keep on Wentz and just see what you get. See, maybe somebody can get him out of this funky end. But if Hurts can win games and he look good doing it, then it's time to move on.
Right. So, all right, y'all. We'll be back at halftime. I guess I would try to talk to someone from Arizona to get on with us on the post game show. So we'll see you at halftime.
All right, peace out.
Eagles!
All right, we back. It's halftime. The Eagles are losing to the Cardinals, 20-26. Uh, how you feel about Kyler Murray throwing the football up and down the field, Phil?
Our defense need to play some defense. He's having a perfect game. His rating is almost a perfect quarterback rating. I think he got 3 incomplete passes all game.
Yeah, yes, Kyler Murray is 17 for 20, 265 yards, 2 touchdowns, and sacked once.
No,
Uh,
no pressure on him. And then that Roby guy, whoever's he's guarding, they just going after. So he need to stay on the bench or help get some help over there for him.
Jalen Hurts is 12 for 18, 177 yards, 3 touchdowns, sacked once. I thought the first quarter they was playing some real undisciplined football, getting that safety, get punt
Well,
blocked. It
that
was
safety was all on your quarterback because when you got when you in the end zone like that, you cannot throw it out of bounds like that.
hmm
And then why the refs trying to rip us off? They didn't want to give us a touchdown. It was a fumble early in the game. I don't know why the booth ain't challenged it. Call down to the field like, yo, do you remember that fumble?
Yeah, it was then they had got that fumble. Did Kyler Murray didn't fumble it. It was the running back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the fumble afterwards they got it, but they should have got the first fumble. You right.
Right. And you would think upstairs a challenge or something. They just was like, fuck it, let them hurry up and hike it. Even the announcer was like, you might want to look at this. You might want to look at this. Oh well, they're hiking the ball.
Speaking of announcers, shout out to Aquib Talib because every time I hear him speak, the first thing I think about is when he snatched Crabtree's chain. He snatched it twice. He snatched it that one time, and nothing happened. Then that game where they had that all brawl, that's when he
Hmm.
snatched it again.
Bringing the hood to the football field.
Yeah. DeAndre Hopkins, 4 receptions, 70 yards, 17 yards a catch.
Those guys know how to catch, man. If they open and the ball's in there, they catch it. No rat.
Yep. Yeah, they was real undisciplined the first quarter. Second quarter, they got it together a little bit. But what's up with Doug Peterson going for that 2 points and that 2 point run right there?
He's
Why?
stupid. He always do that. I don't know why. You're still down, so just take the extra point.
Exactly. Exactly.
Now, if 2 points would have put us only down by a field goal, then okay. But you still
Hmm.
need more than a field goal, so just go ahead and take the extra point.
Right. So, running backs. Let's see. Miles Sanders, 12 carries, 37 yards, 3.1 yards a carry. Well, at least they giving him some carries, but he have 12 now. He'll end the game with like 15.
Yeah, I was thinking 16.
Jalen Hurts 3 for 21, and Rieger when they did that wide receiver screen, he had negative 10 yards.
Damn, so nothing for Boston Scott or the other two guys, huh? I could have swore Boston Scott got 1 or 2 carries.
Was that a penalty? I think there was a penalty on that play. I'm not sure. Well, it's not on here unless they. I remember one was a penalty. They had brought it back, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe they didn't put it on here if he did get any carries.
Probably.
Edmonds for Arizona, 6 carries for 27 yards. Kyler Murray, 6 for 23. Drake, 5 for 10, and Hopkins got 1 for 1 when that wide receiver screen.
We ain't worried about that. Right now, we need our defense to step up. Our offense is putting points on the board, even though our defense is forced turnovers, but still, they need to like slow them down because we can't really slow them down. We shutting the run down, but shit, when he sit back and pass it and everybody 5 yards wide open, is like, what you want to do?
Okay, the thing about it is the Eagles will score, right? But then when Kyler Murray go on the field, it's a long pass play.
Yep, right back in our face and shit. Now we
Ye-
about to get scored on again.
Yep, and they right back in the red zone.
And why did the defensive end hit that dude out of bounds like that for 15-yard penalty?
I don't know.
That was just straight stupid. And he looked at like, yeah, what? Like he didn't care. I would have set his
Right,
ass down for a play or two.
exactly.
Or even if I don't set him down, you'd have seen me on the sideline chewing him out. We don't get none of that here. We just let people just keep fucking up and don't nobody say nothing to him.
Uh-huh. Well, you ain't say nothing about your boy Zach Ertz. He got that 42-yard pass play.
What happened?
Zach Ertz when he got that 42-yard pass play.
Oh, Zach Ertz is alright. I don't, and it's funny when they was saying, well, all these announcers that was backing Carson Wentz. Well, can't nobody get open? The Eagles can't catch. Who is he playing with out there? Well, Jalen Hurts just put 20 points up at halftime, and he's playing with the same guys. I don't want to hear this shit about nobody can get open and nobody can catch shit. Put the damn ball where they can catch it.
Right. All right. So what you see in the second half?
It looked like it's gonna be a high scoring game because they really can't stop us and we can't stop them. But them being up, they just gonna be up. You know what I mean? We can't stop them to catch them.
Uh,
I need our defense to step up. If our defense can put pressure on them, it looks like they loosey goosey with the ball anyway because he didn't fumble twice. The running back didn't fumble. So shit, if we can put some pressure on these guys, we can force another turnover. I don't see him throwing an interception, and even if he did throw an interception, our guys can't catch anyway. But but a fumble, I can see a fumble happening. Another fumble, get another turnover.
yeah. Well, yeah. I'll probably say yeah, more of the same. I say more of the same. It's going to be one of these teams is going to have 30 points.
Right,
Well,
is a back and forth scoring match, and the last team score win type joint. Somebody got to
right.
play defense.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll be back. I think I may have someone that's want to join in. He told me to DM him, but he didn't answer back when I DM'd him. So I guess he's down to do it. But I'll still ask more people just in case.
All right.
We'll be back at the end of the game, y'all.
This is Billy Stacy of the St. Louis Football Cardinals, and the Cardinals are charging.
All right, we back. The Eagles lost. Who was the Eagles score? 33-26 Phoenix. We have Ryan Gutierrez from Phoenix, Arizona. How you doing, Mr.
I'm
Gutierrez?
Fortunately for me, I'm doing better than you guys tonight. But I mean, that was a hell of a ball game, guys. That was good shit to watch. Or sorry, that was good stuff to
It
watch.
was a good game.
Oh, you can cuss. You didn't have
Okay.
to censor yourself. well, I got two things to ask you. One, I know you're gonna rub it in our face.
No, not at all. No, not at
And
all.
two,
Not at all.
and
It's
two, let's get it on out the way. What degrees is it in Arizona?
uh enough for a fire. It was 60 today. Right now, it's saying 63, so it high 68. No clouds, all sun, perfect for December 20th.
Okay.
And that's what we signed up here for, though. We had a record summer of days over 115 degrees, so we've definitely earned our December weather here after this past summer and the whole year in general. But
Okay, well, you got that weather rubbed in our face out the way. So now we can start talking about the football game. So tell us how you think the Arizona Cardinals looked.
Well, it's kind of a microcosm for the whole season. Inconsistent, to be honest. Weird play calls by Cliff Kingsbury after almost 2 years of being the offensive coordinator, let alone head coach here. It's still developing with Cliff and Kyler Murray, who can't seem to sometimes get on the same page when it comes to play calls, when it comes to passing, when it comes to running calls, when it comes to Kenyon Drake running more east-west instead of north-south. Even though we're 8-6, we've played well for the most part, but there's just a lot of inconsistency still. Kyler's, his turnovers, the way he has the football in one hand, his hands are small. Kyler's 5'9", 5'10". He's got small hands, and so when he puts the ball out there, it leads to turnovers. That's the problem that we're dealing with here, let alone our 8-6 record right now. But we've let wins get by. We've won some games we shouldn't have. Buffalo with the Hail Murray that we call it here in Phoenix. The game with the DeAndre Hopkins touchdown catch that we had today. We played well. I kind of think we stole one from you guys today, and that's a home game for Arizona. But that's where we kind of see it here for the most part.
Yeah, Phil and I mentioned on the Eagles side that was a very poor coaching performance. Uh, taking that 2 point conversion instead of trying to kick an extra point, bobbled the snap, and that was a field goal, or is that another extra point? No, that was another extra point.
That was
right?
an extra point, yeah. And that
Yeah.
was Zach Ertz holding that play action or play after kick. So the radio broadcast had mentioned, the one locally out here had mentioned how the punters usually handles the kicks for the point afters, but that was Zach Ertz.
The punter was hurt. He got a maybe concussion. He got a concussion, right, Phil?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
He was hurt.
Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah,
that makes sense.
Right.
That makes sense. It looked like it could have been a bad snap, though, as well, on top of having your tight end be the holder on an important point after to take a 1-point lead.
So we have Kyler Murray, 27 for 36, 406 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, and he had 1 rushing touchdown. We have Jalen Hurts, 24 for 44, 338 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, sacked 6 times, and have 1 rushing touchdown. So how did you think Jalen Hurts looked, Phil?
He looked. Oh, sorry, my bad. No, go ahead.
I'm like,
I thought this. Yeah, I thought this whole group conversation. No, I would love to hear your guys' opinions about how you feel of him out
there.
Guess,
so go ahead. You can go ahead, Ryan.
I thought the kid looked incredible. That looked like national championship. Jalen Hurts, with the way he moved the ball, the clutch plays he made, the 4th down runs, the way he saw the field. That kid's the real deal. You got a good one out there in Philly. The kid's impressive.
Go ahead, Phil.
Yeah, I'm agree with him. He does see the field good, and he put the ball in places where receivers can catch it and get yak yards, and that's something Carson wasn't doing. So I like his ball placement. The only knock is the long drives where he gets sacked or he holding the ball too long. He got to get rid of it.
Right. And the thing about it, when he knows that the defense is pressuring him, he'll throw the football when he know the guy's like standing right there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, you have to get rid of football. You got to get the football out your hands quicker than that.
Yeah.
You guys have a pretty banged up offensive line, didn't you? Though.
Yeah, but that's still no excuse.
Right. I mean, rookie quarterback making his second start. And I'll give the defense credit here in Arizona. They've gotten after it the last couple of weeks. Even after the Chandler Jones injury, these boys have stacked up the sacks, and they are getting after the quarterback in New York last week against Philadelphia
that boy
today.
from Temple, that linebacker.
Yeah, Hassan Reddick, he had his option declined this past offseason. He has had multiple defensive coordinators in his career thus far. He's played different positions. Now he's playing the position that he played in college that made him the 13th overall pick in the draft 4 or 5 years ago. So he's in a comfortable spot. The kid's bigger too. He's and faster. You could definitely tell that he's. Oh, go ahead, my man.
No, I mean, I cut you off, but the thing with the Eagles, we never draft linebackers, so I've been keeping an eye on him, and especially local dudes, and I wanted us to draft him. I'm like, damn, when are we going to draft a linebacker? We always let him get away.
Well, the kid we got from you a few years ago, Jordan Hicks, I mean, that kid,
we should have kept him too.
He has been the heart and soul of this defense. I mean, Chandler Jones is the big name, gets a bunch of sacks, was up there with Stephon Gilmore for Defensive Player of the Year last year. Patrick Peterson's the known commodity, the superstar that has fallen off the last couple of years, and he got picked on. He's gotten picked on all season, let alone today. But Jordan Hicks, that is the heart and soul of that defensive unit.
Yeah, when he played here, he was good. The only problem is he couldn't stay healthy.
Injuries. So that's all we heard. Yeah, right. That's all we heard. Yeah,
he wasn't making a lot. So if you can keep a dude like that, you keep him.
Exactly. And he got maybe below market value for his injuries. That's his past. He hasn't missed. I don't. Maybe wrong here, but I don't think he's missed a game since he's been in Arizona. And he's just been incredible. Over 100 tackles last year. I know he's either getting close or he's crossed 100 tackles again this year. He's the heart and soul. No, he's great. We love him. He's sensational here.
Okay, so what do you think the Cardinals are going to do in the playoffs?
Well, we got to get there first. We've had big wins, but we've had big losses. And even though Mitchell Trubisky is inconsistent, he's still 5-2 as the Bears starting quarterback. The Bears are 7-7. We have to take care of our business. We're in the driver's seat. We control our own destiny. We're 8-6. We have the San Francisco 49ers here next weekend. Well, actually, it's like we kind of share a home right now. So we have the whole roommate situation going on in Glendale. But we got to beat the 49ers. I'm stunned to see the LA Rams score, and they lost to the New York Jets. So what we were kind of eyeballing here for week 17 was maybe the Rams would sit everybody in that week. The Rams have beaten the Arizona Cardinals' ass 7 or 8 times in a row. Sean McVay's undefeated against Arizona. So we need to beat San Francisco, beat LA, and then we'll take it from there. Just get in the dance, see what happens. You guys know that from your Super Bowl run with Nick Foles. Just get in, see what happens.
That's what it's about, just getting in. Once you win, anything can happen.
Exactly. No home field advantage. Might go to a dome against New Orleans in the first round or a divisional round or wild card or whatever it is and go from there. Green Bay scares me. It's cold. It's frigid. You guys are used to that. You guys just had a hell of a storm this past week. So
we still covered in snow out here.
Yeah,
I couldn't imagine. Hey, we're loving our sunshine out here, man.
There you go. There you go, rubbing it in. See? Well, all right, Phil. What do you think the Eagles are going to do for the rest of the season?
I mean, we needed to win to get in, so our season is pretty much over, ain't it?
No. Can they still make it?
I thought we needed to win to get in. I don't know if we can make
Dallas
it now.
Today. Dallas had a big
Dallas
win today.
won.
Let me see. I don't see anything.
I think Washington lost, and then New York is playing tonight, and that's a big game against Cleveland, and that's with their backup quarterback Colt McCoy as well.
I mean, if we can win out, we probably could sneak in.
But teams got to lose and all that stuff.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
So we've got 3 teams ahead of us.
Right. So if they would have won, they would have had a better chances though. So I also Phil, you got mad when the Eagles drafted Jalen Hurts, and I already told you that that was a good pick. So are you regretting
Well,
what
well,
you said?
well, no. What I said was I wouldn't have used a high pick for a backup. We wasn't expecting Carson Wentz to be the worst quarterback in football. So with a second round pick like that, you use something that you can plug in and play right now, not what if or later on or a backup. You know what I mean? So it's easy to say that now, looking at the way they're playing, but we didn't know Carson Wentz was going to stink up the joint the way he had.
Go get the kids some weapons. Exactly.
No,
I ain't trying to.
offensively, no, offensively is fine. They need to work on that defense. That secondary is atrocious.
But that Epps kid, he flies around. That kid's a hard hitter from what we saw today.
See, what I think we should do is I think we should run a two tight end set like the Patriots used to do. Instead of having Ertz and Goddard backing up each other, let both of them be in the game. That way, even though it help on the line blocking. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. That's what they do here with Dan Arnold and Max Williams. They run the 2 tight end set. You got a blocker, you got a pass catcher. And they try to give Kyler maximum protection. It kind of seems like it's more of when it's like the run play or run pass option, and Kyler usually runs it, and that's how you kind of know. But Cliff's done a good job of disguising his packages. That's the one area where he's grown from his Texas Tech days and his first season in the NFL as a head coach. But I totally agree. The 2 tight end set, I think it, especially with who you guys have there. I mean, Zach Ertz might be a little older, but man, he is talented as well still, and he's still a threat regardless of his age or his decline.
They're phasing him out.
Right, yeah.
Well, that's what we're saying because he's up for a contract and they don't want to pay him, so they kind of calling less plays for him. But that's bullshit. Like we need another receiver, and we have trouble in the draft all the time. I don't know why we didn't go after Stephon Diggs or the guy they got Hopkins. They was out there for pennies. You know what I mean? We could have grabbed them.
When we saw that DeAndre Hopkins bomb when the trade window opened, we were as shocked as anybody in the NFL.
and that coach got himself fired for that shit.
The coach, the owner, if Bill O'Brien's on the hot seat, how the hell do you let this guy pull off a trade like that if you fire him 4 games into a season?
Exactly.
Yep.
Oh man, but yeah, that was we were counting our blessings when we saw Adam Schefter tweet out that news that DeAndre Hopkins had been traded to Arizona.
It's always other teams that get these big name guys. The Eagles, Philadelphia teams in general never get like big name guys in their prime.
Well, we
go ahead.
What's the name? Metcalf, but we take Ortega Whiteside.
Well, you guys had the whole dream team that was assembled not too long ago, maybe 10 years or 12 years ago or so. So
see that was guys that was already went from other teams and like on a downturn, you know.
but when it comes down to it, when you guys won the Super Bowl, you may not have necessarily been had the most talent on your team, but you guys were the best team that was assembled that year.
Right.
So the chemistry that you guys developed with Doug Peterson, who I think Doug Peterson's a good coach. I'm sure you guys have entirely different. I'm sure you guys have an entirely different perspective. But you take a backup quarterback like Nick Foles, who we watched down here in Tucson at the University of Arizona. He was nothing special. To take him and to go run through the NFC and then go beat the New England Patriots, that was an impressive run that Peterson had.
But Nick Foles already showed like he can play in the right system because the one year he had he went to the Pro Bowl, won an MVP of the Pro Bowl, and he had 27 touchdowns and 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's been
here.
Yeah, right.
So he's not a scrub. He probably is a backup, but he's not a scrub.
No, totally. But yeah, to win a Super Bowl and have the performance he had, that was impressive.
Yeah, he was in his zone.
That was impressive. So I give Peterson a little bit of credit, but I know how you guys are in Philadelphia. Oh, well, even here as well. What have you done for me lately? That's in the past. We're looking ahead to the future. We're living in the moment. We need to win now.
Exactly, because Doug is on the hot seat next year.
Oh,
I give him this year.
Oh, absolutely.
I give him a pass this year, but next year he's on the hot seat.
It's not his fault that players get hurt, but it's the play calling that just sucks. You know what I mean?
Well, it might be his fault for Carson Wentz taking a step back in his progression. That's on him.
That's not his fault either.
No, I can't.
You don't think so?
Because he was a quarterback. He was a quarterback's coach. So while other quarterbacks can perform well under him, but Carson can't.
I mean, I
Because
think
even the rookie, you see the rookie playing good now. Nick Foles
it
played good,
seems
so
right.
everybody plays good besides Nick Foles. I mean,
It
Carson
seems
Wentz
like
under him.
it seems like Carson's in his own head right now, and to see Hurts, who's fresh, no pressure, he's a rookie, he's talented. It just seems like Carson Wentz is just his own worst enemy at the moment.
Well, he say he don't love the game. It's just a job. He'd rather go hunting. So there you go.
Yeah, that's the problem right there. That's the main problem. That if you're not into it 100%, you're never gonna dedicate yourself fully to that.
Right. But
We
that interview is going to haunt him. But what was you about to say,
yeah.
Phil?
No, I was gonna say, but we heard years that Carson Wentz was having issues in the locker room, but they just kept it under wraps. A lot of
Wow.
teammates, and they would say like, why everybody play better when Carson Wentz not in the game, but when he there, all of a sudden nobody can get open, nobody can catch. Like, what's going on?
Right.
So
Absolutely. The interceptions stack
and I
up
think
totally.
right, and I don't think that they couldn't get open. I think they can get open because I've seen guys open. Carson will overthrow them, underthrow them, don't look their way, or make it a hard, difficult catch for
Mhm.
It's kind of the same issues we're having with Kyler here, even though we're calling it progress. After 5 wins last year, we have 8 wins now. Young
them.
quarterback, but Carson's gotten paid. that boy got
Well,
paid.
that's the thing. If Carson was in his second year, I would be like, okay, he can learn from this. We're in what, year 5 now, and we're
Yeah.
still
Yes.
like, for him to succeed, he need a Pro Bowl offensive lineman, a Pro Bowl receiver, a Pro Bowl
Right.
running back. He need
Right.
everything to line up perfect for him, and
Yeah.
that's crazy.
He's not elevating his teammates like a franchise quarterback should.
Right.
Hmm. So Ryan, are you in radio or some type of media?
Uh, I actually had gone to school for radio.
Okay.
I actually get like a lot of not pressure, but it's like, hey, wouldn't you be interested in podcasting? Wouldn't you be interested in some sort of like media outlet? When I was in school, it's like I didn't really see it. Like I love sports. The Phoenix Suns are like my firstborn child. This is a basketball town here, let alone the Cardinals being good. The Diamondbacks having a miserable season. The Coyotes are doing their thing out in Glendale that no one really knows about with new ownership and stuff like that. But I've always been intrigued by it. But it's just when I was in school, it seemed like it was so inconsistent, and I didn't want to move around the country, even though I love sports. I pretty much my life revolves around it, and but I've just never really found like the time to like fully dedicate myself to that passion, even though I love it wholeheartedly.
Hmm. So, all right, you mentioned the Phoenix Suns. So, what do you think the Phoenix Suns is going to do this season?
Boy, when it comes to the Phoenix Suns here in this valley right now, even with the Cardinals being 8-6, having a playoff spot in their hands at the moment, these guys are running 1A, 1B right now. This town will always be a Phoenix Suns town. The Chris Paul trade really revitalized this city. And boy, this town is ready for a winning team. When we went 7-4 last year, even after the DeAndre Ayton suspension, this town was painted purple and orange. And we have a young star in Devin Booker who is beloved here in Phoenix. And the kid, he's an all-star. He loves the area. He makes that known. He donates his time to Phoenix Children's Hospital on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. The kid is just, he's an amazing person, let alone basketball player. So to have a town rally around this kid, 10 years of losing, that's a long time for ownership with Robert Sarver after the Jerry Colangelo era that we had here for 40 years, 45 seasons. So we are excited. We're hopeful. They're talking a big game right now. They want to finish top 4 in the Western Conference. 8-0 in the bubble. That really drove expectations for this upcoming season. One of the kids that we love here is actually one of your boys, Mikal
Dario.
Bridges.
Oh, I thought you were going to
Mika-
mention Dario.
Oh,
Ooh.
Mikal Bridges from Villanova. Boy, he's. I think he might be the second fan favorite behind Devin Booker. That kid, respectful young man. He plays the game hard. He puts the work in. He was on the U.S. Olympic select team a couple years ago. He top 10 pick in the draft who we traded for from the Philadelphia 76ers. We love that kid. Defensive presence, can shoot the ball well, moves without the basketball. He is just a classic throwback kind of player, and he's loved here. But the expectations are high, especially with Chris Paul, especially with DeAndre Ayton making the next step in his third season after being the number one pick. And then Devin Booker taking that next step to superstardom, let alone being a star here. But the expectations are high. Hopefully it's top 4 in the Western Conference. But us as fans, just get in the postseason, break that 10-year curse that you guys have had with the rebuilds, with the draft picks that haven't worked out, the head coaches that have failed, the GMs that have come and gone. Now you have stability with James Jones and Monty Williams and that front office, that coaching staff, these players. Seems like they're all on the same page now.
Philip, what you think about the Phoenix Suns?
I don't see them doing nothing.
Yeah, I agree. I figured you would say that too.
And I completely. That seems like that's the national perspective across the country, that they haven't done anything for 10 years. So why would they do something now?
I don't think no point guard, especially a point guard like Chris Paul, is going to come to a team and just flip the team around just like that.
It might not work. This by far the best teammate that Devin Booker's ever had, the best point guard he's ever had. There's a solid core here that you can see is being established with what they put together. And then the veterans they put around, we got Jay Crowder from Miami, your Dario Saric, who turned his 8-game bubble turnaround of a season, which he struggled. He was in and out of the starting lineup. He was benched. He was inconsistent. But his 8 games, you penciled him in for 15 and 10 every game, and that turned it into a 3-year contract extension here. And he was a key part to their success in Orlando and at Disney World. So to see him have that kind of success and to see the whole team have that success, it's really transformed the expectations here in the Valley.
Okay. All right, Mr. Gutierrez, do you want to plug your social media?
I'm actually on it. It's actually the first time I've ever done this, to be honest. So I love reading sports, whether it doesn't matter what part of the country it comes from. We could talk Bryce Harper and the Phillies. We could talk Devin Booker and the Suns.
Philip's on here, so don't talk about Bryce Harper and the Phillies.
I'm just saying that's my passion. I mean, I could go from coast to coast. I love it all. I kind of think I'm somewhat of a decent follow on Twitter. It's my handle's rgutie7, RGUTIE7. That's first initial, part of my last name. I like to engage with people, even though Twitter is almost like a cesspool of like hate and division, whether that's athletically, politically, whatever. To have like people who are knowledgeable in sports, I think is refreshing and I enjoy it. So whenever you guys want to go back and forth, or whenever Arizona or Phoenix meets up with Philadelphia again, I would be completely honored to be with you guys again. So thank you for the opportunity. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, we're going to look you up when the Sixers play Phoenix.
Exactly.
I can't wait, guys. I can't wait. Hey, when Devin Booker drops 46 on the 76ers again, I'm ready for you guys.
That won't happen.
Yep, in a losing effort.
Right. Well, you can follow the Judgementals on Twitter and Facebook at PNL Judgementals, Instagram at _Judgementals, or you can email us at pnljudgementals@gmail.com. I appreciate it, Brian. And we will see you. We will talk to you again.
I can't wait, guys. You guys be safe. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. See you guys in 2021.
All right, Ryan. Same to you.
Yeah, you as well.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
This is Billy Stacy of the St. Louis Football Cardinals, and the Cardinals are charging.